Today, we're going to be talking about maximizing your leads through pay-per-click and Google Ads. So before I get into specifically Google Ads, I have something I call the digital dominance method, and it is all the things you could do online to potentially bring leads to your company. And as you all know, there are a lot of pieces involved. Getting your website, as Sherry mentioned, getting your ads, getting your social media, all these different pieces, right? So this is just one piece of the pie, in this case, pay-per-click or paid ads, in an overall strategy to really start bringing leads, bringing more raised hands to your business. But this is just one small piece of that, but hopefully there's some notes in here you can take that will help you kind of build on this and start to be able to do some of the other things as well. I should also mention that your website is the hub of everything you do online, and that needs to be number one, first and foremost, having that foundation in place before you start to even do paid ads to any system. I want to make this interactive. I don't mind questions in the middle of my presentations because I want to make sure that everybody is clear on what I'm talking about. However, if you want to keep your questions to the end, that will work just as well. So let's start right off the bat. Pay-per-click obviously is what PPC stands for, and that is you are paying for placement on platforms. Typically, this is Google. That's the biggest one. Of course, Facebook ads, and I think Kara mentioned earlier, TikTok, Yelp, all these different places that you can do ads on. But I'm curious, who has ran pay-per-click ads in the past? And what was your experience in doing so? Go ahead, Thad.
I have run pay-per-click ads, just kind of try to feel out the dynamics and what type of demographics you can narrow to. I found it very, very interesting, and I did get a lot of response. A lot of people checking out my website, which is, like you said, the hub. That's why I just guided people to go to the website for more information. But it wasn't really a campaign. I was just kind of trying to feel it out. I think trying to understand the campaign side of it and understand the results is a little confusing. That's what really stopped me.
Okay, so you're not doing them anymore. They were successful, but you're not doing them because you couldn't quantify the results?
Correct.
Okay, fair enough. Anyone else that's ran ads? Go ahead, Dick.
Yeah, so I've been in franchise a long time, and we've tried everything. I would say my experience has been that paid for clicks has been the least productive that we've ever done.
Okay, not an uncommon answer. Thank you. Anyone else that's ran ads? All right, let's move on. Thank you for sharing your experiences. I will say that in most cases, that is the response that I get. We tried it, not sure if it worked or not, but we didn't continue working on it. For today's example, as you probably know, I do a lot of work in the window treatment industry. So I'm going to use the examples in that industry, but of course you can apply it to yours as well. As you guys mentioned, PPC campaign probably didn't work really well. I hear it a lot where, you know what, we spent $1,000 and I couldn't tell you if it worked or not, but we turned it off, which tells me you probably didn't have a good result after all, right? So there's a couple reasons why different pay-per-click campaigns fail. First of all, as Thad mentioned, failure to understand what in the world is even happening and how all these pieces work together. It is quite complex to the point where I hire professionals to work on it because I can't even keep up with it all. But there are a couple things that you can do. A lot of times, let me back up. Google is really good at advertising to business owners saying, come on over here, run some ads. It's super easy. And a lot of us do, right? They'll give us a promo code. We'll start running ads. And before we know it, $1,000 is gone or something like that. And a lot of times what we do is they make it so easy that we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot by doing it that way. One of the things that you can do is creating one ad or one ad group to go to all your services. So in my window treatments example, if somebody types in window shades St. Louis and they get an ad that's about window treatments in St. Louis, well, that matches up. But wouldn't it be better if the ad talked specifically about window shades, if the ad matched what the person was shooting for in the first place? So building one ad group that is just like this huge I don't know the word, putting everything together into one thing and then trying to get catching all that in one net could be a really big thing that fails for people. And then again, not using specific ads and specific landing pages for each group. So in a perfect world, if somebody typed in blinds in St. Louis, they would land on a page that talked about blinds. That's the perfect scenario. And then second part of that is no strong call to action or offer when they do land on that page. They land on the page, and we go back to your website being the hub. If they land on that page after clicking an ad and there's no obvious next step, that's a problem. And that's an easy fix. But that is a huge reason why they fail. Another reason why pay-per-click ads tend to fail is that every ad dumps to your homepage. The problem with that, again, is you're forcing somebody who typed in blinds St. Louis, they land on your homepage, you're forcing them now to go find the blinds page or whatever your service or product is. The best scenario, again, is for them to land on the page that matches the search that they just made, not your homepage. So that's a big mistake that I see probably the most often is, as a business owner, you want to drive traffic to your website. It makes the most sense that you would just dump everybody to the homepage. But from a customer experience, that's not the best place to dump them. In the perfect world, the perfect lead gen strategy is a marriage of the two. You all know that I'm a huge SEO proponent, but building a system that has both of these things in place can generate a vast amount of leads for your business. So let me talk a little bit about Google Ads as an overview so you understand the different ways that you could potentially use them. Everybody's probably familiar with search ads, which is you type something in, plumber near me, and up comes a couple ads, and then probably the map, and then finally what we call the organic listings, or those 10 listings. Those are search ads. Those are the most common. They've been around for a very long time. But there are other ways that you can actually run ads inside Google's system to get in front of people. Another example is app ads. Who plays Farmville or something like that on your phone, right? Every other screen or every level, there's an ad in between there of some sort. A lot of those are Google ads that are run through the Google ad system. So you can actually run ads on different apps. Video ads is another way to get in front of people. So if you are a YouTube user, when you go to watch your favorite YouTuber new video that they just put up, you have to sit through 30 seconds or 1 minute worth of ads first, pre-roll type ads. Those are video ads that are being run through the Google ad system as well. And then lastly is display ads. These are ads that can be placed on other websites that are relevant to what you do. These are used on multiple systems. Facebook does something similar, but you can actually show ads on other sites to drive traffic back to your own site, which is pretty cool. When it comes to audiences, this is a big thing. Sherry was talking earlier about who she wanted to target, who she wanted to be in front of. There are different lists that you can put together to get specifically in front of those people. The first one are customers that you know. You can actually upload a list of past customers and show ads specifically to those people. So that's one really cool way. Another way is the opposite of that. Upload your current customer list and say, I want to show ads to everybody in these demographics, except for the people I've already done business with. That's another way to do it. And then there's something called lookalike audiences, where you can upload a list of, let's say, past customers that you've done work with, and Google, Facebook, all these platforms will actually reverse engineer the demographics part of how those people all seem to be similar, and they will build an audience of potential other customers that match those same things and show ads to those people. So some really cool ways that you can kind of get in front of the right audience for your business. So let's talk about how to set up something that does two things: costs as little as possible, generates as many leads as possible. That is the ultimate goal, right? You want to get those leads as cheap as you can. So there's a couple things that you should track. Thad, you mentioned this earlier. You weren't sure if it was successful or not, right? So a couple things, obviously total spend. We all know that number, right? We know how much money went out. But some other things that are interesting or good to know: what is the cost per click? So how much did it cost you every time somebody clicked on your ad? Was that $1? Was that $5? Was it $10? This does not mean that they converted into a customer. It just means they clicked on your ad. So your ad was compelling enough for them to click on it. So good to know your cost per click, because that's something you want to drive down over time to get those clicks cheaper and cheaper. Then you can look at, okay, out of those, how many people actually became a customer? And I can look at my total spend and see, okay, this is what it really cost me per lead that I, for a closed job that I had. In the window treatment industry, that's somewhere between 15 and 35 bucks. That's pretty cheap considering they're selling a $5, $10, $15,000 solution, right? Those are really cheap leads. Awning's the same way. So the important thing here is to know not only what you spent, that's the easy one, but out of that, how many leads did you generate? How much did each of those leads cost? And then you can see if there was a return on investment once you take into consideration your costs, your overhead, those sort of things. So let's talk a little bit about what's working right now. One really cool thing that's working right now is ads in the map area. We call this the 3-pack. Everybody's probably seen these 3-pack results, right? There's 3 listings with the map. And what we're seeing specifically in the window treatment industry is 60 to 70% of customers that are searching are using this to make their decision. They're not necessarily going down to the organic search engine results. 60 to 70%, especially mobile users, are using this. So there is actually a way to get an ad into what we call the 3-pack. You can see there's 4 here, right? There's 4 results, not 3. So the American Awning and Blind Company has inserted an ad into this 3-pack of results to immediately show up at the top of this area where they know that a lot of people are engaging with this. So you can actually run ads locally in the map area or the 3-pack of results. This is a big game changer for somebody who needs local leads. Here's a screenshot from one of our clients from last week. And in red is the source, or where people that picked up the phone and called this client, where they found that client's information. GMB means Google My Business, or the 3-pack of results. And again, you can see here it's generating 75% of their leads, which is just incredible. So very important to have that piece in play. If you can't get into the 3-pack naturally by getting better reviews, things like that, you can run an ad to get into that listing. And it would be worth your time. Another thing that's working really well is video ads. I mentioned this before. Many of you probably know Bruce at Sunshine Drapery or have heard of him in the past. We run a lot of ads for Bruce on YouTube in what we call that pre-roll, or before you watch the actual ad. And we are getting 1 cent views on his videos, 1 penny every time somebody views it. Now, this might not be a great specifically lead generation strategy, but he's staying top of mind. He's being part of the conversation. It is another touch point for him when it comes to customers that are potentially thinking of working with this company. For a penny, I mean, I think he's going to have a hard time spending $20 a month on this strategy alone. So when it comes to different keywords, there are different ways to approach this. And it's very important that you understand the different ways that you can show ads to people, because it does make a difference. So if first of all is broad match, that means draperies. So that gives Google kind of free reign to match up anybody who they think might be searching for something related to draperies. It could even be DIY. It could be, how do I iron my draperies? It could be a lot of things that maybe don't really make a lot of sense for somebody that wants to search or to show ads to. The audience is huge right there. If you look at what's modified broad match, that means that the word draperies has to be in the search. It could be, how do I iron my draperies still, which is not a great match, but the word is part of the search. It has to be in there so that you add the plus. Phrase match means this phrase has to be used in the search that they're doing. So the customer is, let's use the first one. I need to know if anyone repairs awnings near me. Something like that. That search would qualify to show your ad for that. So they used that phrase somewhere in their search. And then exact match means only people that use these exact words do I want to show my ads to. So only if somebody goes to Google and types in Dallas drapery, do I want my ad to show up. If they type Dallas drapery near me, your ad would not show up. Dallas draperies, your ad would not show up. So exact match just means that, exact match. Very important to understand those differences. Obviously, the more you crank down on those, the more specific, the less times your ads will show, but the more specific they'll be. The other thing to take in consideration are negative keywords. I mentioned how to iron my draperies earlier, which would be a bad match, right? You wouldn't want to show an ad to them. Same thing goes true for jobs, career, cheap, discount. You know, if these are words that you can give Google and say, don't show my ad if they use these words, because I know that they're not searching for a product or service that I have, right? So a good list of negative keywords is always important as well. And that can just build over time. One of the really cool things that Google Ads does is they show different words that people have searched to find your business. And another opportunity for you could be misspelled words. So in this example, you can see somebody fat fingered it and Google still showed it to that person, but starting to show some of those misspellings. It's another great way to grab some more of that market share. Competitors. We see in here that there was a competitor somebody was searching for. Why not take an opportunity to stick your ad right in front of that person that's searching for a competitor? Maybe you can get that lead. Here's an example. I did a search for Sunshine Drapery and look who showed up, a couple competitors. They are showing up for somebody else's brand search. Now, there are some times when you can get into some trademark issues and things like that. You'll notice they're not using the actual word Sunshine Drapery anywhere in their ads. So you have to be really careful about that, but there's no reason you couldn't show ads to people who are searching for competitors in a lot of cases. All right, when it comes to actually creating your ad, less is more. Give them something to do. Tell them about a sale or schedule a discovery call, something along those lines, so they know when they click this ad what they're going to probably be doing next. If you have a special offer, make sure you reference that in there. Ad sent is very important. So ad sent is when somebody sees an ad and they click on that ad and then they land on a page that looks nothing like what they clicked on, or doesn't smell the same, right? It doesn't have that same scent. A lot of times they're going to hit the back button because they just don't know, what did I just click on? So it's very important that whatever messaging is in your ads, and if you're using video ads or image related ads, that when they click on those, the place that they land feels similar. It feels familiar. It looks the same. It keeps people from hitting that back button quickly. And then on the page, I mentioned this earlier, give them one decision. Don't give them too many options or different things to look at, distractions, right? Oh, I could click here, I could click here, I could do all these different things. If your purpose is to generate the lead, for them to fill out a form, raise their hand, pick up the phone and call, whatever that is, give them just that one option. A lot of times we call that a squeeze page, right? There's nothing else to do on this page but fill out the thing to get to the next step. We call that a squeeze page. And then another thing you can do is add extensions. So when you look at these 3 results for this particular search, you can tell that the first guys have obviously put more time and effort into their ad. They have more potential opportunity for people to click on different things too. There's window treatments, other spaces, get a free quote, even their address is on here where you can click on and it'll pull up the map and you'll be able to drive straight to their place. These are called ad extensions, and very important when you're running an ad to have those filled in as well. All right, let's talk quickly about landing pages. I mentioned this early on. When you run an ad, you don't dump everybody to your homepage. If somebody's searching for window treatments in Kirkwood, it would make sense that you landed them on a page that talks about how you do window treatments in Kirkwood, right? Or Sunset Hills, or wherever your location is. So building these city pages can really help from an SEO perspective too. You can typically rank these pages pretty easily because nobody else is doing this. And then running ads in those areas to those pages are going to really increase your overall conversions. And then the same thing for products. If somebody's searching for Roman shades in St. Louis, drop them on your Roman shades page. Whatever your service is, drop them on that particular page. Also, who's heard of retargeting or remarketing? This is, yep, some people have. So this is the process of, you go to Amazon and you see a pair of shoes that you really want, but you don't buy them, right? Then for the next week, those shoes are following you around on Facebook and inside the Farmville game you're playing, right? They're everywhere. These are retargeting ads. You can do it on YouTube as well. So these are ads that follow you around after the fact that you visited a website, but did not fully engage with that website. And this is a great way to even tie this to your ad campaign. So you're running ads, people are clicking on your ads, but they're not they're on the squeeze page and they're not filling out the form. You can then show them ads for the next couple weeks all around the web on other platforms to get them back to that page to fill out that form. These are typically very, very cheap ads to run as well. And then 2 last ideas. I have mentioned a couple times, there are a lot of platforms you can run ads on. It's not just Google where you can run ads on. There's Yelp, there's Houzz, there's Nextdoor, which is a newer one. If you are in the service industry, Richard, for example, Nextdoor is probably a great place to run ads because people are actively on those. Does anybody know a remodeler near me? Right? Those kind of things. Excuse me. Lots of different platforms. And then I mentioned the perfect lead gen strategy being a marriage between pay-per-click and search engine optimization. If you have your SEO in place, it takes a while for that to ramp up. A lot of our clients will start out running paid ads to start generating those leads quickly while their SEO is running or starting to build up. And then over time, we see about a 50-50 mix. 50% of our clients pull back on that pay-per-click budget as they start ranking organically for a lot of terms. 50% of them say, you know what, this is working so well, let's just keep it going aside of the SEO campaign as well. So there are some things that you can do. I think the one thing about pay-per-click is you don't want to just do pay-per-click and not consider SEO. And the reason for that is you're locked in with pay-per-click. As long as you feed the monster, you'll get leads. But as soon as you decide to stop, there's no long-term benefit for your business. The phone just stops ringing. So by having a good search engine strategy, if you have a bad month where you need to pull the budget back, you can probably still generate leads because you've built that foundation out. So that is my SEO piece of the pie today. I appreciate your time. If we do have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those. We are also a Google partner. And if anybody is wanting to try Google Ads and you have not before, I can actually get my hands on some $500 promo codes. They used to be $100 or $150. Right now, they're giving out $500 promo codes. It's $500 when you spend $500, but that gives you plenty of ammunition to kind of hone down a really good system, a campaign, and hopefully generate some leads out of it as well. So, all right. Thank you.